Hi, I'm Elliot Morgan. Welcome to Hot Take, a special edition of Your World Today, a semi-regular show from the Valleyfolk, a four-person comedy troupe who used to be on SourceFed, but we're here thanks to the support from our community on Patreon. And this is a show that's done in one take on the first try with no jump cuts to hide our mistakes. 2, 3!
What's at stake? It's an episode of Hot Take. We get to hear our bad takes and get to see our mistakes. Hot Take!
Yeah, it's a big parfait. Hey, speaking of swear words, let's talk about vices. Scotch! You know, our forefathers really painted us into a corner when they came up with this whole freedom for all bit. On one hand, you're free to live your life as you choose, but if you yell fire in a crowded theater, you're gonna wake up tomorrow trapped in a very overused cliche example about free speech. It's like, where's the line? Enter vices, substances, activities, or hobbies that are perceived as both detrimental and wildly fun depending on your preferences. Now, I am no stranger to vices. Cigarette! Oh, okay, hold on. Just because something is a vice doesn't make it illegal. Point in mouth. You get it? Caffeine! But other vices, such as marijuana, have undergone a slow and steady pilgrimage into the world of legality. I said marijuana, so Steve, I believe you have something for me. What's that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
One ten was supposed to be there.
Here you go.
Very nice of you. You could probably take it back. Now, here's the thing. Growing up, I was taught that marijuana was a gateway drug, and now I know that it's a medicinally beneficial substance with little to no long-term damage, as well as a gateway drug. Now, I'm able to smoke this here joint both because it's legal here in California, and also because I can almost guarantee our landlord won't watch this here.
He's a doctor.
Yeah, he is a doctor, but others aren't so lucky, and that brings me to my former place of employment. And no, I'm not talking about SourceFed, okay? I'm not talking about this lifeless, overstretched entity well past its prime whose only success is in repackaging what worked for them originally. I'm talking about Walt Disney World, where I used to gallivant the mean streets of Main Street as a close personal friend of Goofy, and it was a magical time. But the totalitarian rule of the mouse, Mickey they called him, is not easily escaped. Just this week, a 69-year-old great-grandmother was arrested for possessing CBD for her arthritis. And I know what you're thinking. Lock her up! Lock her up! Well, by God, they did, okay? A 69-year-old great-grandmother who looks incredibly good for her age spent 12 hours in the slammer for smuggling a non-hallucinogenic arthritis medicine into the happiest place on earth, even though she had a medical recommendation from her doctor. She was released on a $2,000 bond, or half the cost of a single Walt Disney World Resort ticket. The woman is from North Carolina, and her name is Hester Jordan Burkhalter, which is adorable, and she'd been planning this trip for 2 years.
That's the saddest part of the story.
You're the saddest part of the story.
Aw, touche.
I don't know why I said that. Now here's Jennifer Cinnamon, a Florida attorney, not porn star, believe me, we checked, explaining the situation as it was told to Fox 35.
You know, a little drop of oil with CBD, that's a felony. Meanwhile, you can have up to 9.9 grams of marijuana, and it's a misdemeanor.
Exactly, even though CBD products are sold all over Florida. It's an outrage. Thank you, Miss Cinnamon. This is literally the first time I've ever seen my home state of Florida do something so weird. Folks, the moral of the story here is that things are changing and it's important that you vote. A great-grandmother who spends 2 years planning a Walt Disney World trip shouldn't go to jail because her knees ain't so good no more. But on a grander scale, it's time we start actually thinking about what's detrimental to our health versus what constitutes jail time. Yes, alcohol and nicotine and drugs, these can all be vices, and it's important people develop a sense of personal responsibility before engaging with any of them, legal or otherwise. But you know what can be just as bad, if not worse, than these substances? Let me put it this way. A few months back, I lost my grandfather. His estate got split up among all the grandchildren, and predictably there was a lot of infighting. And everyone wanted his land, you know, they wanted his old Cadillacs, his bricks of solid gold.
Is Elliot rich?
I saw greed infect a loving family, and I stayed silent. I didn't want it. So my cousin Cletus came to me and said, Elliot, you haven't done anything. You haven't asked for anything. The house went to Piper, the curious amount of land in Germany, that went to your mom, but I remained quiet. He said, what do you want? I said, you know, Granddad used to read to me on the back porch of our old Florida shack, and we'd listen to mosquitoes outside and the grasshoppers, and we'd hear old Willie next door shouting, give me my Rasputin or I'll knock your block off. It was really beautiful. He used to have these sunflowers inside this old vase next to his tire swing. And I said, Cletus, give me the vase. You know, I don't want the money. I don't want your greed. I don't want any of that. It's disgusting. If I could criminalize one thing, if I could do away with one vice, it would be greed. So anyway, I brought my grandfather's vase here with me today, so the next time you are thinking about engaging in bad behavior, think about what's more important. Instead of thinking about a vice, think about my grandfather's vase. Joe, can you hand me the vase?
Catch.
Hey, wow, you did so good. You did really good, buddy. You did
what a
so
good show.
good. What a
what
you
a
read
good
off
show.
the whole teleprompter.
Hey, is that joint okay still?
You
What?
didn't
No, actually-
catch the vase.
Perfect.
It's okay.
I told you I can't catch things.
Hey.
I think we could put it back together.
Sorry the joint didn't stay lit.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I mean, it's on you.
Yeah.
It's on you.
Wow.
You'll do better next. You'll do better next
We
time.
love you, Elliot.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for being here, but
Oh my God.